Alright, we have a great pork butt, which is similar to the pork shoulder. It's the thicker part of the pork shoulder. Butt means butt end, haha, butt end, butt of a cigarette, butt of a cigar. The thicker part of the meat is the pork butt. This is about a 2.5 pound piece. You can buy them in like you can also use a cut of a pork shoulder. We got this at of course Ventura Meat Company in Ventura. They have this is a pasture raised pork. This is the really good stuff. If you can get pasture raised, get that. If you can't, pork butt or pork shoulder. You can go up to 3-4 pounds for this amount of seasoning we're going to use. We're going to make it in the kitchen barbecue. It doesn't have to be outside. We're going to do this indoors, really simple. So let's talk about a rub. All barbecue needs a basic rub. We get about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We got 2 teaspoons of cumin ground. We got a teaspoon of garlic powder. We have 2 teaspoons of salt. We have 2 teaspoons of chili powder and a teaspoon of cayenne. Now if you want more heat, you can do another one, but that's pretty good. You're going to mix that around. Get all the bumps out of there. Now there's different rubs. You see all different kind of varieties. This has a little bit of sweet in it. I like to have some sugar in my rub. Some people don't like any sweet in their rub. It all depends on what you want. Now, since we're doing this indoors, we can use some smoked chips. We're going to make it easy. We basically have 2 teaspoons of liquid smoke. This stuff is really strong. We're going to brush some on the top, some on the sides. You can get hickory, any kind of flavor. Mesquite, liquid smoke. Liquid smoke's good. All it is an extract from the natural wood. There's nothing bad about it. It's just going to give you a strong smoky flavor without smoking up your whole house. Okay? All around. We're going to baste that with the liquid smoke. You don't want to overdo it with liquid smoke because then it's just going to be too smoky. It's like a nice essence there. So we have our dry rub. We're going to rub on the top, pat it down. We're going to put some on the sides, pat that. Some here, pat that. And then underneath, okay, all around. I got aluminum foil right now. You can use a cooling rack or a rack to lift the meat off, but I like the aluminum foil. It makes it easier for cleaning. Okay, and all those flavors are going to concentrate then. You're going to see what's going to happen because we're going to do some basting. So we pat all that rub all around. Okay, we've got our oven preheated right now at about a 325. This is going to go low and slow. That's what barbecuing is. It's not about grilling, it's about barbecuing. It's about cooking low and slow. That's what's happening here. So we got our wonderful rub on the top of that pork butt, and now we're going to get ready to put it in the oven. Alright, we got our oven preheated at 325. We got about a 2.5 pound piece of pork butt. Great stuff, like I said, got from Ventura Meat Company. Try to get pasture raised pork when you can. That's going to be in there, and we're going to give this at least 45 minutes, and we're going to check our temperature after 45 minutes. Alright, it's been about 45 minutes. We're going to see how our pork's doing. By the way, I didn't mention it. All those wonderful spice mixture was from, of course, Spicetopia and Ventura. See how our meat's shrinking a little bit? We got a little bit of nice crust on the top. We're going to check our internal temperature. We need to be at least 145 for our pork. And after 45 minutes, we're at about 115. So we're going to go back in for another half an hour. Alright, let's check and see how we're doing. Smelling great. Okay? So, like I said, we need to be at least 145 Fahrenheit, and we are there. Okay? That total time was like 1 hour and 15 minutes for about a 2.25 pound pork butt. Good stuff. Alright? I forgot to tell you, all that spice mixture that we had on the top for our spice rub, I got all this stuff at Spicetopia and Ventura, which is great. The cayenne pepper, the cumin powder, chili powder, salt, sea salt, good stuff. So now we're going to let this rest for at least 10 minutes max, and we're going to let it slice. Then we're going to slice it up. Alright, so we let this rest for about 10 minutes max. Got a nice crust on the outside, and I am psyched. This looks really moist. And we got wonderful juices in the bottom of the pan. You can spoon that over a little bit later. We got a side of barbecue sauce as well. So, just nice do-a-saw action when you're slicing down. It's pretty simple. Looking really good. Okay, about 1/8 of an inch. Make sure your knife is sharp. That's what's great about this pasture-raised pork. It just really is great texture, and all you have to do is come up to 145 and you're good. Some people go below 145 because it's such a well-raised pork. I mean, they're taken care of, they're not stressed, and Ventura Meat Company, thank you so much for getting this stuff, because it's really hard to find. You don't get it in the regular market. You can do this recipe, of course, with any kind of pork, but if you can't get the pasture-raised, go for it. That's even the better. So there's our nice slices. Okay, really wonderful, and of course, a little barbecue sauce on the side. Barbecue sauce is up to you, or no sauce at all. The main thing is you got that wonderful crust on the outside from the rub. Total cooking time for about 2 1/4 pounds of this pork butt was about, at 325, was about 1 hour and 15 minutes. Check your temperature, make sure you have a thermometer, but I'm loving that. That looks really good. It smells great.